So you should be reasonably familiar with working with equations now and substituting values in to solve them. Now, if we take a very simple formula like this one for the area of a triangle, area equals half times the base times the height. We know that there's little multiplication signs in there, but they're not written, but we have to use them when we're applying the formula. The easiest way to use a formula like this is if you already know the base and the height and you're trying to find the area, because it's just a simple matter of making your substitutions for base and height, putting those numbers in, and then plugging the whole lot into your calculator to find the area. But what takes a little bit more work is if you know, say, the area and maybe one of these and you're trying to find the other one. That's where things get a little bit tricky, and that's what this video is designed to help you do. Now, there's two methods. I'm going to show you both methods because one might appeal to you more than the other and you can pick your favorite. So in this example, we need to use the formula for the area of a triangle, A equals half times base times height, to find the length of the base. So it's the base that we don't know. We do know the area, it's 36 centimetres squared, and we do know that the height is 9 centimetres. So this first method says, let's just substitute in what we know, and then we'll solve it as best we can using our equation solving skills. So we'll start by writing half times base times the height. Okay, now let's sub in what we know. We know that A is 36. Half is still a half. We don't know the base, so we'll just write that down again. And we know that the height is 9. All right, now we need to tidy this up and get the B by itself until at the bottom we have B equals something, and then we'll know what the base is. So we need to undo operations one at a time. Let's start by getting rid of this multiply by 9. How do you undo multiplying by 9? Divide by 9. So if we divide this side by 9, the 9s will cancel. But we have to divide the other side by 9 too, to keep things balanced. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Again, if the numbers are tricky, use your calculator. This just gives you the operation to do. And over here, we've disappeared that 9 now, so we've just got half times B. Now, think about what this means. Half of something is 4. I know that half of 8 is 4. So I can actually solve this part now by spotting the answer. All right, but we'll try and keep ourselves using our good methods that will work when the numbers do get tricky and we can't spot the answer. Now, if you've got half of something, how could you find what all of it is? Well, you could just not halve it, right? Now, if you've got half a pizza and you want a whole pizza, you need to double what you have, right? You need to times by 2. So to get rid of this half, I basically just need to multiply this whole side by 2. And algebraically, I can see that that lets the 2's cancel out. Half of 2, after all, is just 1. So I'll just have one lot of B now. But if I've multiplied this side of the equation by 2, I need to multiply this side by 2 as well to keep it fair. So now I've got B equals 8. And I can write it around the other way if I like. 8 equals B is the same as B equals 8. And I can put my units in. The base must be 8 centimetres. I can also check that my answer seems right. If I plug in 8 here for the base and 9 for the height, 8 9s are 72. And half of 72 is 36. And that's the number that they gave us. So I can actually verify that my answer did work out correctly. Okay, that's fairly straightforward. The other method is similar, but the only real difference is that we do the rearranging before we sub the numbers in. Why would we do that? Well, perhaps we've got a whole lot of triangles to look at, and we know the area and the height of all of them, and we want to find base a lot of times. So instead of using this, we'd really like a little nice recipe where you can find the base using this formula that has the area and the height in it. So it could be handy if you're doing a lot of them. So we start with the same method. We just write down the formula, and I'm putting the little invisible multiplication signs in there so it makes it really clear. Now I'm trying to rearrange this so that the base is all by itself. So I've got to use the exact same method as I used over here. I need to get rid of this timesing by a half, and I need to get rid of this multiplying by h. Whichever one you do first doesn't matter too much, they both need doing. Let's do what we did here and get rid of this multiplying by h. What's the opposite of multiplying by h? Dividing by h. Those two things will undo each other. So if I divide this side by h and divide this side by h, they should be still balanced, right? Over here, I can cancel my h's out, because if I've got half of b and I multiply it by h and then divide it by h, I'll just have whatever it was. Okay, so it's got a little bit simpler now. And if you like to write that out tidy, just so you don't have the crossing out, you could do it on the next line. I'm going to leave mine looking like that to save time. All right, the next thing I want to get rid of is this multiplying by half. I don't want half of b, I want all of b. So if I've got half of b now, I need to double that to get a whole b. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2, because I can see that then half of 2 is 1. I'll just have one lot of b, which is what I want. But to keep it fair, I've got to multiply the other side by 2, and I can literally write it like that. Now, my half and my 2 cancel out. The only thing left is my b. So I'm going to write this out nice and tidy this time. b, I'm going to put it on the left, is equal to all of this, 2 lots of a divided by h. So I've made up a new formula. I've made up a formula that finds the base if you already know the area and the height. And I've done that just by rearranging this other formula. So now, if you tell me the area and the height of any triangle, I can plug it into this little formula and out will come the base. Very similar to what we did over here, it's just we did it with letters instead of with the numbers. So now I can say, all right, what's the base then if I know that the area is 36 and the height's 9? Now I do my substituting in. The base would be 2 times, I'm not going to write a, I'm going to write 36 over 9. And you can reach for your calculator at that point if you like, or you can say, hey, I know 36 divided by 9 is 4. It's 2 4s, which is 8. And that's what you'll get if you do 2 36s, that's 72. 72 divided by 9, also 8. So there's lots of ways of doing the same thing. And I get the same answer. So 2 different methods. If this one appeals to you, stick with it. If you like the idea of making up a new formula by rearranging the old one, this is how you get it done.